Hello everyone. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss a famous protocol known as file transfer protocol, right? So type file transfer protocol is the standard mechanism provided by TCP/IP protocol suite for copying a file from one host to another host or from client to server, right? So FTP uses the services of TCP, and TCP, of course, it's a connection oriented protocol, right? Transmission control protocol is a connection oriented protocol. So before transferring the file from one host to another, you need to establish the connection between the source and destination, and then we can transfer the actual file from one place to another place. Then finally, once the data transfer is over, we need to terminate the connections, right? So there are three handshaking mechanism is must for FTP, and the FTP uses well-known port numbers 20 and 21, right? And 20 is used for data connection, and 21 is used for control connection, right? So this diagram will give you the overall outline about FTP, right? FTP. So um, through the application browser, a user can request for a file from the server, right? So the the green color control process, right? Green color box, the text control process indicates the control connection between the client and server, whereas the block boxes, right, denotes the data connections between client and the server, right? So we are using well-known port numbers 20 and 21. 20 for data connection, 21 for control connection. So all the link related, the communication data, the maintenance service related connections will be controlled by the control processes, right? And control connection will be established by using the port number 21, and port number 20 will be used for data transfers, right? So whenever a user requested for a file transfer from server to a local device, right, the request will be sent along with the FML port number to the server, right? So FTP creates a data connection with the following steps. See, the client issues a passive open using a FML port number 20 and 21, right? 20 for data connection, 21 for control connection, right? The client sends the port number to the server using the port command, right? The server receives the port number and issues an active open, right? Client issues a passive open, right, which is not actually open. It requests the server to open connection between the client and server, right? Whereas the server, upon receiving the request from the client, server issues the active open. So now only the connection is completely open along with the well-known port number 20, right? So this is the illustration on how to establish the connection between client and server, right? So control process will be managed by the local operating system, right? And the control process will issue fetch the port number, FML port number, and send the request along with the port number to the server, right? Server will issue the active open connection, right? Active open connection. So after receiving the active open connection from the client server, then connection establishment phase is done, right? Now you can go for data transfers, right? So data connection is established, and the file type, data structure, and transmission mode are defined by the client. So you can define what type of file you are requesting, and data structure, right, and transmission mode, right? So everything can be defined by the client machine, right? So based on the request specified by the client, server will process the file and will transfer the file from server to client, right? So the control process, client will issue the commands to the server, and pink color will be usually used to indicate the server responses based on the commands issued by the client machine, right? So I have tabulated a few well-known commands and its type descriptions. See access commands, right? What are all the famous popular access commands, right? So these are all the commands that the user access the remote system. So user defines the user information. Pass means password. ACCT means account information. REIN means reinitiate the connection. And quit, logout, abort. Right. And similarly, file management commands. Right. CWD is changed to another directory. Delete means DAELE. List means list all the subdirectories. And file transfer commands. Uh, RETR, retrieve the files. STOR means store the files. Append the data. States. Status, if you want to return the status, state command will be used. And the miscellaneous commands, no operation, site specific commands, system specific commands, help, right? So FTP responses, right? The response has two parts, right? A 3-digit number followed by text, right? So FTP responses is basically 3-digit number followed by text, and each numerical number defines a specific meaning, right? Specific meaning. The first digit, right? Let us say the 3 numerical digit as XYZ. The first digit defines the status of the command, right? So let us say 1. If the first digit is 1, it's a positive preliminary reply, right? The action has started. The server will send another reply before accepting another command, right? If the first digit is 2, the action has been completed. The server is accepted your command. If the first digit is 3, the command has been accepted, but further information is needed, right? If the first digit is 4, the action didn't take place, and there is a error in the execution, right? Execution. So, of course, you may be come across 404 error page not found, right? So means the requested page is not found by the server, right? So the first digit 4 means it's an error. The action is not complete, and the error has been taken place. And if the first digit is 5, the command is not accepted by the server, and you can try it after some time, right? Similarly, the second digit defines the status of the command, right? Status of the command. See, if it is 0, syntax. If it is 1, information. If it is 2, connections. If it is 3, authentication and accounting. If it is 4, unspecified. If it is 5, file system. Third digit provides additional information about the documents, files, right? So, as I told earlier, the black color arrow lines indicates the commands issued by the client. The pink color arrow marks indicates the responses from the server, right? Responses from the server. This timeline will illustrate the commands required for retrieving a list of items in a directory. So first you need to make sure control connection phase is done, then actual data transfer will take place. Once the data connection is over, data transmission is over, you need to close the data connection, right? Data connection. So the pink color boxes indicates the server responses, whereas the black color boxes indicates the user commands, right? And it is mandatory to use port numbers for every command, right? Every command. So here is the example program for FTP implementation. The colored lines show the responses from the server. control connection, right? Server control connection. So we we may require security for file transfer, right? So in order to secure our file transfer process, we can add a secure socket layer between FTP application layer and the TCP layer. So in this case, the FTP will be renamed as SSL FTP, Secure Socket Layer FTP. Another way to transfer file using a secure channel is to use an independent protocol called the SFTP, Secure File Transfer Protocol. This is actually a Unix program to provide secure the file transfer protocol as a part of SSH protocol, right? Secure set protocol. Um, and another variation of FTP is called as TFTP, trivial FTP. So what is the need of a trivial FTP is that, for example, when a diskless workstation, when you are booting up your system, a laptop, right? When a diskless workstation router is booted, we need to download the configuration and bootstrap files, right? So in this scenario, we need to have a trivial file transfer protocol for fetching the required documents from the operating system or memory, right? So DFTP uses the services of UDP, whereas FTP uses the services of TCP. DFTP uses the services of UDP on the well-known port number 69, right? And that DFTP messages will be broadly categorized into 5 types, uh, depending upon the operation you are going to perform. RRQ, read request, write request, data transfer, acknowledgement message, error message. So the read request is used by the client to establish a connection for reading data from the server. A write request is used by the client to establish a connection for writing the file to the server, right? So it's similar to the response, 5 types of message, response messages. So each will be represented with a unique opcode, right? So opcode 1 for read request, opcode 2 for write request, opcode 3 for uh, data format, 4 for acknowledgement, and 5 for error, right? So this is a simple connection establishment and connection for reading and connection for writing TFTP file transfers, right? And UDP port numbers uh, will be used by the TFTP, well-known port number 69 by the server and 532 for client side, right? So this is a simple passive and active open connection by the client in the case of TFTP transmission. See, and again the each command will be issued with the port numbers, right? Port numbers, right? So timers will be maintained in both the sides, client side as well as in the server side, right? So if it doesn't receive the acknowledgement or any command within the time expires, then it has to retransmit the particular command or acknowledgement, right? Acknowledgement. So application wise, usually TFTP will be implemented along with the DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, right? The only difference is DHCP will be implemented with the single timer, whereas DFTP will be implemented with multiple timers, right? Both client and server will be using separate timers uh, for their maintenance, right? Control connection, control processes. So these are just the fundamentals of DFTP and the FTP protocol, right? So FTP is one of the famous popular protocol, right? So for file transfer or printing purposes, sharing the documents or files, right? Whatever it is. So it is important to know what are all the functionalities of the TP and UDP TCP and file transfer protocol. So thanks for watching. And if you have any queries, post it in the comment box. Thank you.